Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandana, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about everything you should know about crystals before buying them, what to buy, how to wear them, how to use them and everything. So let's dive straight into it. So crystals are also like gemstones. They have the capacity of gemstones as well. It's just that they are cheaper because they are more easily available. Crystals are also mined from the earth like gemstones are mined. So all the rules that apply for wearing a gemstone actually do apply to wearing crystals as well. They also have a resonance to planets, they also have a resonance to vibrations, and this is something you shouldn't ignore. If you're wearing a crystal jewelry, or you're wearing a crystal just for making a fashion statement, that's all right. It's not going to really impact your energy over a longer period of time, but it may impact temporarily because it is interacting with your vibration and your aura, right? But as far as it's a fashion statement, you can wear it, there's no problem. But coming into the main aspect of wearing crystals, so why does one wear crystals, or why does one keep crystals? Obviously it is of remedial value, right? You are either trying to attract the right love, you're trying to attract abundance, you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to protect yourself from psychic attacks. So this is why we look at crystals also in the first place. And crystals are not something that should be tampered with and played around. Now I'm going to reveal a series of secrets to you about crystals. So one thing about crystals that nobody knows is that crystals are able to open up portals, energy portals, okay, different kind of energy portals. So you need to be careful of the kind and the size of the crystal also that you are keeping in your house, and if you're going to wear it in your neck or somewhere around your body as well, okay, because you may or may not be aware of it, but these crystals do open energy portals. And a lot of times, sometimes I get clients who are witnessing some kind of paranormal activity, and I found out through my readings that it is because they've placed a certain large crystal in a certain place of their house. So this is also very important. So it's not that the crystals that you just wear, but the crystals that you keep at home and the size of these crystals also matter. Okay, the next thing that you don't know about crystals are that crystals are capable of trapping certain energies. They not only function like magnets, they can also function as containment stones. Okay, so you can trap all kinds of energy in crystals, which is why I always recommend people to buy their own crystals from a shop that they have picked themselves, and don't take any crystals or buy any crystals from any kind of, say, healer or tarot reader, because you don't really know what is going on the backside, because there is a term in Hindi called Vashikaran, okay, or in English it is called bewitching. So sometimes people can bewitch the crystal and send it to you, which means that now for a long period of time you're going to be like a puppet in their hands. So whenever somebody recommends crystals to you, please make sure that you go independently and buy these crystals from a shop which they have not recommended. You Google is a very good tool to use and find out where you can get crystals from. You can buy crystals online also these days. I mean, there are a lot of accounts on Instagram. So please do your own research and buy a crystal that was recommended to you by an astrologer or a tarot reader or a Reiki or pranic healer, okay? And don't, because this is just to bring awareness. If you have it's only when you have trust is when the trust gets breached, right? If you don't trust anyone, why would you get betrayed, or why would you get stabbed in the back? So this is just a precautionary measure that I would recommend to anybody watching this video when it comes to buying crystals. And the second thing is that crystals need to be cleansed and charged on a regular basis. Okay, you can't just bring a crystal and keep it in your house, or you have a handful of bracelets and they're lying in your drawer. You can't do that. You need to treat them as living conscious beings, because they are living and they are conscious as well, which is why you are able to program them for a certain goal that you want, or something that you desire from it, or the manner that it should work for you. All right, so they have to be cleansed and clean. Now, when I'm coming to this whole process of cleansing and cleaning, something that you need to understand is that crystals are also subject to the number of people that are living in the house and their willpower. Let me explain this. Suppose you bring, say for example, a rose quartz and you keep it in your room because you want a more harmonious relationship with your partner. All right, and you've programmed the crystal and you've kept the crystal in your bedroom. Okay, but what happens if your partner's willpower, okay, if your partner's energy is much stronger than yours, you see, over a period of time, the crystal will start behaving or aligning its energies with whosever energy is stronger. Okay, so when you are programming a crystal and when you have brought it with a certain intention, you should make sure that there is a lot of intensity and a lot of power in that intention. Otherwise, it is going to override by somebody else's power and intention, even if they don't believe in crystals. Okay, this happens with a lot of people. There's one person who's all about crystals and energy and everything, and there's another person in the house who's in total disagreement and says all this is all woo-woo, wishy-washy, and if you just did things properly and on time, you would get a result. And a lot of people clash with this. So everybody is entitled to their own point of view, but crystals specifically, this does happen. I have seen it in a lot of cases with my clients as well. So willpower, the power, the intensity and the charge are very, very important when you buy a crystal and you keep a crystal at home. Okay, sometimes it's not enough to just do a salt water cleansing and a moon water and a sun water cleansing. It may require a certain kind of affirmation or a mantra chant or something also to give it more power and to give it the ability to work for you. Okay, that being said, I'm going to talk about now how people tend to buy, you become like an addict. You tend to buying a lot of crystals. You're wearing pendants, you're wearing bracelets, you're wearing anklets, you have crystals all over your home. Okay, now this is extremely dangerous, because in order to do this, the first and foremost thing you need to understand is that which crystals are compatible with which. Okay, if you bring two crystals with opposing energy, obviously you are going to face the repercussions of it. Okay, so you need to have a good understanding of what crystals resonate with what. Okay, the friendship and the enmity of crystals, yes, there is something like that also, and you can't pair. Certain crystal pairings are not favorable, certain crystal pairings are extremely favorable. Now, if you notice, a lot of healers and tarot card readers especially, you will see a lot of them wearing a lot of crystals, a lot of bracelets, and they'll tell others also that they should wear it. I'm not saying don't wear it, I'm saying wear it, but there is a way that you start layering crystals on your body. Okay, whether it is a necklace, it is a bracelet, it is an anklet, it is an armlet, whatever kind of let it is, you need to understand how and when to layer these crystals. Okay, which means at a particular time, buy just one kind of crystal, wear it, give it 3 months of time, and you will know whether this crystal is really working for you or working against you or is simply dormant. Okay, because why are you buying a crystal in the first place? You're buying it because you want a certain result, right? If you're buying the crystal and you're not getting any result, then it's just sitting in your home. And on top of that, if it's giving you a negative result, then it's something you need to do away with immediately. Okay, So anytime you buy any kind of crystal, just buy one crystal at a time. Okay, give it time, see how it is interacting with your energy, feel the energy. If you can't feel the energy, be patient enough and try to connect with that crystal, and you'll know what is happening. If you buy 4-5 crystals at one time, I want a bracelet for my job, I want a bracelet for protection, I want a bracelet for my third eye, I want a bracelet for my physical health, it is going to make such a mess of all the energy. You will not be able to understand what is happening and why it is happening. Okay, so this is something that you really need to have good clarity on. And any crystal, 3 months is a very good time for you to understand what work it is doing for you or not doing for you also. Okay, so the other thing that I want to say is, when you're buying crystals, don't have more than one crystal for one purpose. Say for example, you want a crystal for an improvement in your relationships. Okay, so you can either pick a rose quartz, or you can pick, say, a rhodochrosodite, for example. Okay, now for some of you these words will be very funny, but so there are multiple crystals that will support this one purpose or goal of yours. So don't buy all of them. Okay, more does not mean more, less is more. Okay, so you pick up one crystal, a crystal that is for your relationship and one that gels with you. Okay, now often what happens is, when we are vibrating at a very low level, we tend to pick up things exactly on that vibration. You heard, right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. So this happens with all kinds of things also. It's not just your tribe, it's your luck, it's your opportunities, the kind of people you meet, the kind of gifts you receive in life, whether they are tangible or psychic or whatever. Okay, so usually when you are vibrating at a very low frequency and you walk into a crystal shop, you will tend to pick up a crystal that is also vibrating on the same frequency as you. But you are trying to buy a crystal that is resonating on a higher frequency so that it can lift your energies. Okay, so this is something you need to be careful of. Now, this is again, say for example, you have 10 pieces of rose quartz in front of you. Not all 10 of those will vibrate with your energy. Okay, this is, like I said, the principles of gemstones are applicable even to crystals. Just because they are cheaper and more easily available does not mean that they are not effective or they're not as effective as gemstones. Trust me, I have seen crystals really brighten or darken people's lives more than gemstones also. So they also have their plus and minus aspects of it. All right, so you should be conscious of what state you are picking up your crystal. Like, don't walk into a crystal shop on a day when when you've had a bad day, or you were feeling very angry or temperamental, or you're just feeling dull. Okay, so go walk into a crystal shop when you are feeling peaceful, when you are feeling calm, when you are feeling happy. Okay, and that's when you go into a crystal shop and pick up a crystal to better improve your relationship or your relationship with money or whatever it is that you want. Okay, don't go in a low vibrating state, because you are likely to pick up crystals also at the same frequency, and then you'll wonder that, oh, this tarot reader or this healer recommended I wear this and now the stone is not doing anything. So really, it's not their fault. It's also how you are able to pick. And the easiest way is, and if there are days where you feel you don't know how you feel, or like I say, I'm feeling blah today, please don't walk into a crystal shop on that day. Okay, and if you want to buy a crystal online also, that's okay, because here you are not picking the crystal. It's fine to a certain extent, but if you're very particular, I would say it's better that you find a local crystal shop, or you ask the the crystal vendor if the stone doesn't resonate with you, can you send it back, and some kind of an understanding. And that's something that always works. The other thing that I would like to talk about is that whenever you are buying these crystals, please make sure that as a healer, okay, when you're buying these crystals as a healer or as a tarot card reader, you tend to work with lot of crystals even if you don't wear a crystal. So how should you pick up these crystals? Always make sure that you are buying these crystals that are resonating with your energy. Okay, so say suppose you are picking up a crystal for your sacral chakra, for example. So pick up a crystal that gels with you and don't worry about the client, because what is going to happen in the healing process is that your energy and what you are channeling, it needs to be compatible with you for it to move through your body and reach your client's body. Okay, and your aura needs to overpower the client's aura, because if it is the other way around, then you will not be able to heal the person. On the contrary, you may fall sick or you may attract. So whenever somebody is healing, that the person healing is always much stronger in vibration, has much more positive energy, and is already at a very high level of frequency. So you need to worry about crystals that are compatible with your energy and your vibration, and you use those stones or palm stones for healing with your clients as well. Don't accumulate 7-8 kind of sacral chakra stones depending on the patient or the client's energy, because you are using your positivity to override their negativity. If you pick up stones that are more compatible with your clients, then it's going to be like a wrestling match. You are going to have to keep pushing out, because the minute you give them a stone that's compatible with their energy, their vibration, or their illness or ailment, is going to be much more difficult for you to take it out of their energetic body. Okay, so this is how you should keep those crystals, and make sure that these crystals are cleaned and charged after every use, not every day. After every use, you are cleaning them and charging them. Okay, and you can also wrap them in a cloth and keep them closed and covered, so that once you charge them, the energy is not just dispersing into the environment. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk to you about crystals is that a lot of us tend to buy crystals in figurines, like a Ganesha, or the shape of an angel, or the shape of any kind of figurine, like a sculpture. Okay, now you have to be extremely careful of these kind of crystals, especially even in the shape of skulls and all that. I would not recommend it at all, because like I said earlier in the video, that crystals are capable of opening energy portals, and they can even trap certain kind of beings and spirits. Okay, which is why sometimes they make excellent talismans for people to know how to use it. Like, you may think somebody is wearing a rose quartz, but it's actually, there's something inside it that is not visible to the naked eye. So only people who are doing these kind of practices know what they're doing with these crystals and what they're using it for. But if you have it in terms of a figurine, it is more, and it is not properly cared for and attended to, there is a tendency that it may attract certain entities or spirits, and if they take a liking to that crystal, then they may they may want to sit inside that crystal, and then you'll have to either throw the crystal away or exorcise the crystal also. Okay, so this is something you have to be very careful of. As far as our the Hindu deities are concerned, I would recommend that it is best that you keep them in the forms that they are meant to be kept, like gold, silver, ashtadhatu, panchadhatu, copper, all these kind of things, and don't experiment with these crystals. Because you really don't know what kind of energy is sitting in it, and divine energies resonate with certain divine metals. Okay, if you don't have proper knowledge of this, don't experiment with it. I know it is very comforting to have, say, a Ganesha or a Nandi or an angel figurine in a crystal, but you don't know, it could be something quite contradictory. Now this is if you can't tell. This is for people who are not aware, whose psychic vision isn't very developed. If you are not able to sense vibrations properly, it is only for that. If you are an expert and you can do all of these things, by all means go ahead, and you are free to do whatever you want with crystals, okay? But this is, I'm speaking on a very general note for the layman, for the lay audience that doesn't know and wants to wear crystals, or feels that crystal will, help them overcome something or show them the way. So this is for general awareness, public awareness, okay, about the crystals. The next thing that I want to talk about is that a lot of crystals are also used with spells. Okay, they are used with witchcraft and all of that. So you should be a little careful about, now you don't see many of these stores in India, but abroad you have stores where they will give you a small packet of tumbled crystals and say these crystals are good for these kind of spells and those. Please, if you are a nobody or a novice, please do not attempt these kind of spells with these crystals. They are extremely dangerous, and then you will find yourself running from pillar to post for somebody who can exorcise, banish and cure you or your problem. Okay, these are not things that one should meddle with. And please be wary of buying these crystal stones and all that, and making stars and other diagrams and placing them with candles and all of that. So a lot of this happens. I would strongly advise to proceed with caution. If you know what you're doing, there's no problem. If you don't know what you're doing and you want to better your life, this is probably the most dangerous way of doing it. So please don't do that. And yeah, that's it I have for you today as far as everything about crystals is concerned. And if there's anything else you would like me to talk about more, then please leave it in the comment section. I'll either make a video on it or I will reply to you. But this is all I have for you today. And crystals can be a very, very beautiful thing in your life. And crystals are also used, when as a japamala also for certain deities. So if you know what you're doing with it, there's no problem. The whole problem is when you don't know and you're trying to experiment or you're trying to attempt with no proper guidance. All right. So keep these things in mind. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye and namaste.